So you need some quarterback help going into week 7. We saw some quarterbacks come out and play well, and then some good quarterbacks struggle. Number one guy to get is Ryan Tannehill, and if he's not owned, he better be owned after this week. This guy, he just keeps putting up 30-plus point fantasy games, and again, we saw it yesterday with a huge game for Tannehill, passing for 4 touchdowns for Tennessee. They're rolling. They're 5-0. He's got the best running back in the game. He's got a great receiver in A.J. Brown, who when he plays, he puts in the work. And again, Brown had 2 touchdowns. He's got Jonnu Smith, who got hurt, but we'll see how long he's out. But Ryan Tannehill, he's resurrected his career with Tennessee, and that's why they paid him the big money this offseason. And I think he's top 5 in fantasy points for quarterbacks now after yesterday's performance, and he keeps putting in the big games as Tannehill. So he's a guy to definitely get, and my number one priority, plus his bye week is over, to go and pick up and just you plug him into your lineup in week 7, Tannehill. I don't care the matchup, because he's getting the job done no matter what. His worst game of the year was a 17-point fantasy day versus Minnesota, which was fluky because we've seen him now go off versus these teams. Another quarterback to target, Justin Herbert. We saw him come off a huge Monday night performance versus the Saints, and now he ran away with the job. Tyrod Taylor back to the bench like it should have been the whole time. This kid Herbert, he's got the it factor. He passes the eye test to me. He's got a strong arm. He's fearless. He puts that ball up. He's got good receivers over there. He's got Keenan Allen. He's got Mike Williams. That guy Jerry at Guyton, he likes hitting them deep down the field. He's got Jackson and Kelly, and Eckler will be back soon. The Chargers, they're going to be down in most games, or they're going to be pass happy. So Justin Herbert with a plus matchup this week versus the Jacksonville Jaguars says you should go out there and get Herbert. He's my number 2 priority ad for a quarterback. If you need help with an injury or a bye, that's the guy to get this week. Justin Herbert, the number 2 guy. He's going to go out there and he's going to keep firing, and he'll get better as the weeks go on for the Los Angeles Chargers. The third guy to get, he didn't play yet, but we'll see what he does tonight versus the Arizona Cardinals, is Andy Dalton. Dak Prescott went down last week with a devastating injury, snapping that ankle. It's bad, but now this is why you need a backup in this league. And Andy Dalton, in my opinion, he's one of the best backups, or the best backup to have come in for an injury for your team. And Andy Dalton, the Cowboys did not lose any weapons. You got Zeke back there, monster back, obviously. You got CeeDee Lamb, the emerging rookie. He's getting better as every week goes on. You got Amari Cooper. You got Gallup, who we saw Dalton win the game last week, hitting Gallup on 2 big throws down the stretch versus the Giants. And you also got Dalton Schultz, who's played well since Jarwin went down week 1 with the ACL injury. He's another weapon. You got Pollard as a backup. Cedric Wilson, he stepped in. But I think 2 guys who fall short and get cut out of the offense will be actually Gallup and Dalton Schultz. Their targets will go down. I think Dallas will be a more run-based offense. But Dalton, he's got all the weapons, and he could get you 20, 25 points a week, I think, with that Dallas Cowboy offense. And he's a good play, especially in 2 quarterback leagues, to pick up and start for sure. So you can't go wrong with Dalton as our 3rd priority heading into week 7, no matter what he does tonight. Because then he's got Washington and Philly coming up. 2+ matchups for Andy Dalton coming up in the next 2 weeks. The 4th guy to go out there and target at quarterback, he's on bye, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, he keeps getting the job done. And we saw it again yesterday with 3 touchdowns passed. Fitzpatrick's a gunslinger. He plays hard. He goes out there, he does his thing, and we saw it again yesterday versus, I know the Jets, they're a lousy club, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, he looked good, throws the ball down the field. He's got Parker, He's got Preston Williams, he's starting to hit more in the red zone. He's got Mike Gesicki, even though he had the old goose egg yesterday, but a big target at tight end. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's definitely an ad. He's on bye this week. But in a pinch after his bye week, he's definitely a guy I wouldn't shy away from to go pick up and play for sure. So that's 4 guys. And if you need a 5th, this is speculative. But Drew Lock, we saw him come back yesterday. He didn't look that great versus New England. His team had to hit 5 field goals behind Brandon McManus to hold on and win 18-12. But Lock is back. He was throwing the ball down the field. He was chucking it at the end of the game, throwing 2 Corsuientos almost. But the Broncos held on. He's got no Sutton, but he's got no Infante's coming back. You got Tim Patrick, a big target for him. So Drew Lock, he's a decent guy to go out there and pick up, and you don't even have to waste a waiver on him, in my opinion. So those are 5 quarterbacks you could go out and get going into week 7 of the fantasy football season.